What's up everybody, it is Rustbeard, welcome back to the channel. Today I think we need to discuss a little bit about this whole removing factions from World of Warcraft. As I'm sure a lot of you guys, being World of Warcraft players, have seen, there's a lot of people talking about how the elves are going to be neutral, or the elves are going into a neutral position where they can be on either faction. Now, of course, this is all speculation. I don't think any of this has been confirmed or denied. However, there is a big talk about the new hub being neutral, and it just so happens to be the Night Elf capital, the new Night Elf capital. That's not good. So, hear me out. Let's take a step back. Let's talk about what the factions are to begin with, and what World of Warcraft is as far as the factions go. The game, at the end of the day, is called World of Warcraft. Now, what that war is doesn't really matter. As long as there's war, and there's a world to have war in, I think the name World of Warcraft still fits just fine. This is not World of Factioncraft. This is not Horde versus Alliance. Not anymore, anyway. The faction war has been pretty much dead for the past several expansions. We haven't really had any major faction conflicts since BFA, and to be honest with you, I'm pretty sure we ended that expansion with like a very peaceful resolution, you know, between the two factions anyway. So, I mean, other than Sylvanas and all that kind of stuff, of course, but I think that was not so much the factions going against each other as it was everybody going against Sylvanas. If we go back to the foundation of World of Warcraft, back in Classic, back in Burning Crusade even maybe, there was still a lot of Horde versus Alliance, and it is kind of a big pillar of what the game was kind of founded on, you know? The game was constructed in a way that was supposed to be faction versus faction conflict, and I understand people's frustration with that. I do understand why people get frustrated about having the factions kind of lose their relevance over the years, because we have pretty much just been fighting with each other for a long time now. I think that's okay. I think fighting with each other is okay. Fighting against each other is also okay. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm a very proud Horde player. I love playing the Horde, and the overarching theme of the Horde has been my home for pretty much the entirety of the time I've been playing. Of course, I've dabbled in Alliance and stuff like that. I love playing Dwarves. I had a newfound respect for the Draenei after I played them and got a little bit more information on them in Warlords of Draenor. But overall, I've almost always played Horde. I would be kind of upset to see the factions disappear. I would be a little bit bummed to see no Horde, no Alliance, especially with some kind of conflict between the two of them, but I think as long as the factions still exist, we're alright, you know? That being said, if they do end up making all of these races, or a lot of the races, neutral, what exactly is the point of the factions? That's kind of where I came up with this video to begin with, was, or if we have all these races be neutral, let's just say everybody decides to be neutral, then there really is no point in having a Horde or Alliance, and that is kind of upsetting. Especially when a lot of the game's foundations are built off of the pride of your faction and showing your faction colors and, you know, screaming for the Horde and for the Alliance at BlizzCon, you know, all the good stuff that comes with the factions and the conflict of the factions and so forth. At the end of the day, would I like to play a Horde Worgen? Yeah, probably. Would I like to play a Horde Dark Iron Dwarf? Yeah, probably. You know what I mean? But is it really a Horde Dark Iron Dwarf, or is it really a Horde Human or a Horde Night Elf at that point? If they're all neutral, you know, that's kind of where I'm at. And I don't know if I like that. I don't know if I like it. I kind of am okay with it, I guess, but at the end of the day, why are we making everything neutral, you know? I kind of understand the elves being neutral, because the elves did technically start from the Alliance. They have more ties to the Alliance than they ever have the Horde. Even the ones that are in the Horde technically had to start in the Alliance first, and probably would still be with the Alliance had it not been for very, very minor things that led them to the Horde to begin with. So I get that, but are trolls or orcs ever going to be Alliance or neutral? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that either. Are Forsaken going to be neutral? I don't know. I could even see them pulling like a, with the Forsaken anyway, I could see them doing something along the lines of, like, you know, what Sylvanas tried to do with Kalia and everything, and like introducing them to their family or whatever. Obviously that went very poorly, and we don't need to relive that, of course, but I could see them attempting that again to make it more successful this time, and then having that be the reason why the Forsaken end up going to the Alliance and so forth. The Orcs, on the other hand, I don't know about all that. I don't know if I can think of a way to justify Orcs siding with the Alliance, and I mean, other than the whole like Anduin and Saurfang arc and whatnot, I mean, I could see them being able to mend some kind of peace between the two of them that way, I suppose. I don't know. Tauren I can kind of see, because they're pretty mellow and neutral as it is, I think. So I could see Tauren's being pretty chill with just being on either faction. But again, at the end of the day, I don't know if that's a good thing. I don't know if that's a good thing for the game or not. It's a weird situation to think about, because I know with this new hub that they're talking about possibly making neutral, even though it is the Night Elf capital now and so forth, I'm assuming they'll probably end up doing the same thing with Silvermoon when it comes out in Midnight. With Silvermoon being a massive hub, I could see them also making that a neutral hub as well, because it'll be kind of like the central focus of the expansion. If I had to guess, I don't know. Based on a lot of the stuff I've been seeing, that's kind of the direction that I feel they're probably going to go. But at the same time, Horde players have been wanting a new Silvermoon for a long time, and we have been getting shafted that whole entire time, with the whole zone being pretty stuck in the past. It's pretty dated. In complete honesty, it's probably my least favorite zone as far as like the Horde starting zones and so forth. I'm not a fan. I could give a shit less about leveling there. Every time I make a Blood Elf, I always go over to Tirisfal and the Undead starting zone, because I just prefer it over Silvermoon anytime. That being said, if they did revamp it and bring it into the modern day and make it a little bit more up to date, I'd probably like it a lot more. I think it's a cool area, and I think that it's got some potential, but right now, it ain't it. Not my cup of tea. If they do that with Silvermoon, what would they do with the Undercity? What are they going to do with Gilneas? What are they going to do, you know, with all those areas that are also going to be kind of tied into that general area, you know what I mean? I don't know. I guess we'll have to wait and see. I think that for the most part, I would be okay with them doing neutral races across the board, but trying to see them justify some of them is going to be kind of weird, and I think we're going to be in a weird state going forward if they do end up trying to just disband the factions as a whole. That's enough rambling from me. I just kind of wanted to put that out in the air. I'm mainly because I'm curious as to why or what people are thinking about this. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Do you guys think that the neutral races coming into the fold possibly are a good thing? Do you want neutral elves? Do you want any of the other races to be neutral? Let me know what you think down in the comments. I would love to hear what you guys have to say and talk to you about it. Also, I just wanted to give a quick thank you to the positive feedback from my last video. I was just trying to put some positivity out into the world and just make some of the people that felt like I did coming into this whole era of WoW with like the whole item level thing. Now, I was able to navigate it a little bit differently because I understand the game a little bit more than a lot of new players, but I understand what it feels like to be that person and to have those kinds of people just completely reject you because you don't know what you're doing, or you have a hard time understanding mechanic, or your rotation and whatnot. So that's really my whole goal, was to just kind of put some positivity into the world in that front. And I'm glad that most of you guys had some really awesome feedback to give me on that. Thank you very much, appreciate that. I would love to have some conversations with you on this topic as well. This one's going to be a little bit more divided, I think, though, so yeah. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comments. That being said, if you like this video, make sure you give me a giant thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you want to see more videos like this one, or like any of the videos that I have up on my channel. Also, really quick, I want to plug my 2 podcasts. I have 2 podcasts. One is called On Thin Ice, where me and my buddy, we discuss icebreaker questions and usually go off the rails into some funny tangent. We have some funny ones coming up, already scheduled, ready to go. Can't wait for everybody to check those out. I'll leave a link for both of these in the description. And the second one is From the Crypt, where me and my other friend talk about movie franchises, music, heavy metal music, and so forth. Tonight we are actually recording our top 5 albums of the year. So, if you want to see that, that will be up on Friday the 15th, and I cannot wait to record that tonight. It's going to be super fun, super chill. It's going to be a great time. So, that'll about do it for me. I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.